Hello? What qualms do I have with the concept of God and such? I wouldn't be able to share it all in only 5 minutes, but I'll do my best. Apparently, my particular Imago Dei is different from most people's. Funny thing is, so many of the masters around the globe have been pointing to the same thing. In fact, I'm pretty sure it is what Yehoshua was pointing to, or as we call him today, Jesus. We were never separate from God. Is God a man? God made man in his image. What are women? Well, I see what's going on here, because we've been striving to excise the divine feminine from the image of God for millennia. But she always reemerges. Do you know how long it took them to translate the Gospel of Mary? Apparently, you cannot take a scalpel to the infinite, but you can shield the vision of your brothers and sisters from their divinity within. Funny enough, though it's not really funny, the ones that recognized their divinity within were accused of heresy. Thankfully, these days, at least in this part of the world, we don't get kicked out of the village and cut down and burned for recognizing our divinity within. Interestingly, the origin of the word heresy is heresis, to choose, but free will is sacred. But then again, many of us strive, sometimes fervorously, to impose our beliefs onto another, though they had not seen and do not know. But once you've seen and now you know, what use have you for belief? We strive to impose our beliefs onto another, and if they are not gullible, which is to say, they possess a healthy distinction between fantasy and reality, well, now what? Now we resort to one of the oldest instruments in the ecclesiastical toolbox, fear. But wait a second. Fear not, be not afraid, be afraid not. There is no fear in love. Perfect love casts out fear. Now I sense a discrepancy. Coercion, moral intimidation. But coercion is not a fruit of faith, but a confession of its absence. And the path to awakening does not look the same for anyone. Not by a long shot. I know, because the kinds of things I've experienced, they didn't tell me about in the Bible. Some people say the Bible is all you need. But some of the best books in the world, they won't tell you about in church. And I had to go looking. Because the kinds of things I've experienced, I've never read in a book. Never heard from any mouth. And one does not need to gnash their teeth and tense up to share the peace of God. And if they do, rest assured, it is a confession of their interior tempest. But you cannot follow two masters at once, right? What master are they following? Fear? Fury? Love? The answer is simple when you're faced with it. Some of them have blinders on.